Hello and welcome back. Sorry about the little wait. It is the Nets taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't know why it looks like it's slower. Every motion I do is slower. Okay, never mind. I think we're good. Um, anyway, welcome back to another watch party. It is the Nets taking on the Cavaliers. We have got under 20 games left in the regular season now, and the Nets are on 22 wins, 42 losses. They are sitting, well, very comfortably in about 6th for the draft odds, equal 6th with Philadelphia. They're only half a game away from the 5 spot, and the Pelicans on 17 wins are 5.5 games back. So the 4 spot probably is a little bit of a far cry, but that 5 spot is very, very accessible in the closing run of the season. Yesterday got off to a very slow start against the Lakers, but we're able to reel it right back in the second quarter, and then we ended up holding the Lakers off late. They have no LeBron, so they were a little bit depleted. They were missing a couple of other players as well. No Jackson Hayes, no Dorian Finney-Smith. So they were missing a fair chunk of contributors, but they still put up a very good fight. Luka was well held by the defense of the Nets, 8 of 26 shooting, and Austin Reeves went 3 of 14. So overall, we held him down pretty well. Gabe Vincent and Jordan Goodwin had some absurd shooting nights from 3, but we got 19 out of Noah Clowney as the team high scorer. And we had 5 players in double figures, and that was enough to get the win. We barely turned the ball over yesterday. We hit 40% of our threes. The free throw shooting probably left a lot on the table. 11 missed free throws. However, that turnover number massive. The offensive rebounding, we outdid them by 8 in that area. And points off turnovers, 19-4. So that really tells you all you need to know about how important those turnovers really were, because it made us a 15-point better side, just like that, based off our ability to look after the ball. And that's going to be what is required today against the Cavaliers, who are, of course, the best team in the NBA for a reason. Are they the best team in the NBA? They are. 54 wins and 10 losses, so a very superb record there. They've won 14 straight, so they are far and clear the strongest team in the league, and they've been consistently doing that all season. They are missing Donovan Mitchell today, and it looks like DeAndre Hunter's coming off the bench, unless the injury report is saying otherwise. Let's have a quick look to see what the injury report may be, if they even show it. Injury report. Or I can just check my fantasy team, because that'll tell me. It looks like DeAndre Hunter is questionable. Yep, he's out for injury/illness. So Ty Jerome's also out. So those are 3 big outs for them, because they've been 3 really good players. And on top of that, I swear they always have good games against Brooklyn. The last time we played the Cavaliers, we lost by 13. We've had 2 losses of over 10 or more. In the last meeting, Donovan had 26. They only had 4 players in double figures, but Allen and Mobley were unstoppable. They had 34 points, 33 rebounds, 11 of those offensive. Ty Jerome didn't have a great game in that game, to be fair, and so did DeAndre Hunter, but they hit a couple of nice shots. And we defended pretty well for the most part. Our offense just fell to pieces in the second half. And yeah, we didn't have anyone score over 20, so that never helps you out. A big key to the game in beating the Lakers the other day was our ability to shoot 40% on threes. Now, a few games back, we actually looked and saw the amount of threes we've been making and the volume we've been taking them at in our losses, and we're very rarely exceeding like 11, 12 threes made. And that's usually happening on 40 or more attempts, which is about a 26, or not 26%, but it's pretty rough. Like, it's around that 30% mark, which is not great when you're shooting it at that specific volume. So, definitely a key to the game today for sure, as it is in every single match we play. But, yeah, I'm really interested to see how this team goes today, because they're coming off a win. It is the second night of a back-to-back, and that always comes into play. Hang on a second. All right. Sorry, I'm just reading the I'm just reading just a few Twitter posts just to see if there's anything updated. Hold on a second. It's like I got something in my eye right now, and it's actually really, really irritating. But we're about to get this game underway, and I'm just going to have to fight the demons in order to commentate this game. It's my left eye. It's so annoying. Okay. I think we'll be alright, just for the moment. If I'm like bugging out at any point, well, you know the reason. So the starting lineup for Brooklyn, we don't have D'Angelo Russell, but Cam Thomas is back into the lineup. Zaire Williams, Cam Johnson, Claxton rounding out the five. And for the Cavaliers, they're running Mobley and Allen in the front court, Strus, Okoro, and Garland, the other three, to round out their starting five. No Donovan Mitchell, no DeAndre Hunter, no Ty Jerome for them. Trendon Watford is also back for the black and white, so that definitely is a little boost for this Nets team. I don't know what the rotation is going to look like, because it did take a bit of a different form in the previous game the Nets played against the Lakers. Like, Clowney's now back, so he's going to steal minutes from someone. D'Lo's not playing tonight, but we did play a 10-man rotation with Beekman involved. Wilson only played the 15 minutes, Sharp only the 17. I don't know if that was more matchup based or anything, but I feel like, yeah, a few players are going to get starved of minutes. Alrighty. All right, tip is won by Brooklyn, and the Nets will get into a set here. Hold on a second. Nets have got it at the elbow here. They're going to look for CT. Claxton's trying to find Thomas, but Okoro's face guarding him, and it looks like that's going to be the attention he receives all day. Cavaliers in a zone. It's forced Claxton into a three. It's off, and Mobley with the board. We've got a foul. Okay. Looks like we've got a stoppage here. Whoops. So, foul on the floor. Garland's got it on the outside. They're going to feed Mobley down low. He's got Thomas on him. That's going to be an easy bucket. No, it's not. Offensive rebound ends up with Jarrett Allen. Cam Thomas gets in there to disrupt, but the Nets weren't able to secure. And there's open shooters on the perimeter, and Garland will knock down the three, and they will punish if you let them get those opportunities. So, 3-0 start here for the Cavaliers. Took a couple attempts, but on their first trip at the offensive end, they convert. Now Keon Johnson, the quick response from the same spot. No. Allen cut right down the middle, and Claxton was lagging behind. I would not be surprised if a timeout was called there early on. Clax has got to be alert, because that was far, far too easy. And you could see Strus even fumbled the pass initially and was able to get it there on the second bite because Claxton was that far behind. Williams is going to pull the trigger. He didn't shoot the ball well yesterday, but he knocks down a 3 on the first attempt. So, good to see a 3 go down early. We did say that's a key to the game. Allen fakes the pass upstairs, then pivots through, and isn't able to convert the layup attempt on Zaire Williams. The Nets will head up the other end and look to tie the game early on here. Johnson picks up his dribble. He needs a little bit of help. Thomas sets a screen off ball for Johnson, who goes down middle, shoots with the left, and converts. And the Nets have got the last 5 after conceding the first 5. Garland on the left wing. Mobley will drive and spin on Williams. Help arrives. Claxton swats it, but too late, as it sat up in the air for a little bit of time. And gravity brought it down, meaning there was a goaltend involved in that. So it was on its deceleration tour. The Nets are in a set now. Claxton, good take on the outside. Hand off in short to Cam Johnson, to the wing for Williams, who hops into another 3. That is good. 2 trays early on for Z, and now he's going to have to contest Mobley. Allen the cut, and the bucket as Claxton came over to help on the Evan Mobley assignment. So 9-8 start here for the Cavs. Johnson across to CT. Now in a switch. They switch back. Very disciplined to the defensive craft. Johnson on an island. Pocket pass into Claxton, and he scores with the left as well, contested. So Nets are getting some good offensive looks early. And being very clinical around the rim. 10-9 lead. Garland gonna lob it up to Mobley. Cam Johnson comes over to help. Allen in the middle. Good defense by Claxton. He killed the angle off for JA. And now Claxton's going to bring it up himself, but Allen gets in behind and blocks the run. Keon Johnson will drive. Numbers come over to help. Williams is opened up again. Extra. Claxton. Body bump. Gets the space. And did well to force the foul on Okoro. So smart play by Brooklyn. Good patience. Williams could have attempted his third 3. He's already got a fair bit of confidence with a couple of makes already, but decided to not force the issue and bounce it into Claxton, who will now get a trip at the line for the first time today. He actually didn't take a free throw yesterday, even though we had 30 attempts, a very healthy number. So one more free throw for Clax, the lead at 2. And that one hits back rim. Board secured by Okoro. So a typical 1 of 2 split there for Clax at the line. Beautiful pocket pass into Mobley. He lost Williams, and we're being killed on a couple of those backdoor cuts right down the middle. So the Nets are going to need to tighten that up. Thomas hasn't really gotten a look yet. He's got it here, though, right on cue. Picks up his dribble. Probably moved. Kicks it out to Williams. Another 3. Yes! Beautiful start by Z, even though he's been a bit cooked on defense. The 9 points already. He's fronting up on Mobley, and because of that, it allowed the loopy pass, and it meant that Cam Thomas could roll over and force a jump ball on that sequence. So, always results in a mixed bag, our defensive coverage. A good feed by Cam Thomas as well. And good off-ball movement by Zaire because he lost Evan Mobley there. So, 9 points for Zaire. Strus is going to pull the trigger after he wins it. Oh my god. Lucky bastard gets the shooter's bounce. And he ties the game at 14. So, I remember he was shooting it just abysmally the last time we played. 14 all. We're nearly halfway through this opening quarter. Thomas. Runner. Nope, he goes for Claxton. That was just stupid because he had an open 2. Strus is going to pull up in transition and is too long on it. Johnson the board. Gets it ahead to Thomas at the half-court line. Extra. Beautiful feed. Cam Johnson in rhythm. No. So CT with some good passing early on. He's not really forcing the issue. Garland, the kick out. Okoro, the quick trigger. Nope. Board by Williams. And he'll let the traffic fly by. Johnson bounces it into Johnson, who lost the ball going up. And there was no whistle. So it looks like we'll get our first timeout. I don't know why the clock didn't start, but we're at 6 minutes and 17 seconds. And it is 14 apiece. So pretty even start. Around the grounds, we don't have many games to really pay attention to today. The Wizards are playing the Pistons, and probably, well, the Pelicans, that is definitely an important game, because they're still 5.5 games back of us, which is going to be very, very hard to make up. I mean, they'll have to win something like 9 games at least, because I can't see us going 3 of 14 the rest of the way. Milwaukee, Indiana, that's an important game because Indiana only a game back from Milwaukee in the standings. And, you know, we also have that Bucks pick. So, you know, every loss the Bucks can notch up and every win that the teams trailing them can get, that's going to benefit the draft position for that Bucks pick. But right now, let's just have a quick look at the box score. I've put Noah Clowney there because he had a great game last night against the Lakers. He hit, I think, 3 threes. He was at the line a great bunch and got the team high 19 points. But right now, a very good start here for Brooklyn. The 9 points to Williams has really funded our success from 3. Probably should have a couple more makes. But Cam Johnson, good facilitation. CT has not really been all that bad, even though he's been largely passive. Not a field goal attempted for him. And the 1 turnover, he's still done a good job of passing the ball. And as a team, the Nets are shooting the ball very similarly to the Cavaliers. Still, you know, finding points from different scoring sources. But that being said, it's all amounted to the exact same total and very similar percentages. Alrighty. All right. So, 14 all. Alrighty, so just a little bit over halfway, we've resumed, and it looks like the Nets have not made a change yet, which is really strange. Maybe a little bit of a tighter rotation at the back end of the season. Drive in by Garland, who's barely taken a shot. He misses there. Nets get the board. It looks like Dean Wade and Sam Merrill are into the game as the first 2 subs for the Cavaliers, with a couple of absences. No Jerome, no Hunter. coming off the bench for them. Thomas is an open three, top of the key. I don't know how that's occurred. It's hit back iron. It's off. Williams gets the board. Save. Johnson off balance. Keeps it alive. Williams will take a couple dribbles. And the Nets will feed it across court now with 6 to shoot. It's Thomas who will back down Garland into the middle for Claxton. He was partially blocked by Jarrett Allen. And the Cavaliers will move the play forward across to Merrill into the corner for Okoro. Drive in. Bounce pass to Wade in the corner. It's an open three. It's off. Board by Williams. Bounce pass to Claxton. Shoots with the right. I don't know how he's got that to go. A little bit of hang time in there. And had to sort of fend with the offhand. The Nets have the lead by 2. Garland. Defended by Cam Johnson. The switch. Allen down the middle. Is wrapped up on the way up. And it will be 2 shots here for Jarrett Allen. So sensible foul there by Zaire Williams. But Jarrett Allen's improved from the free throw line for years. So he's a lot more reliable of a free throw shooter these days. So just a little under 5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. And Allen hits the first at the line. We've got mass subs here. Watford in, who was not playing yesterday, Dayron Sharp, and Tyrese Martin also into the game. Martin had 14 yesterday, hit 4 threes, some big ones down the stretch too. And so 16 apiece, with Allen converting both. Porter Jr.'s in for the Cavaliers, and don't imagine he's had too many games where he's played meaningful minutes this early on. Thomas, guarded by him now. Thomas the kick out to Williams. He has to hop into another 3, and that one's off. First miss of the game there. Porter fumbled his dribble initially. Drive in down the middle. It's an open layup. So 18-16 lead. I don't know how that defensive breakdown occurred, but it's probably the easiest layup we've given away all day. Fighting under the basket with Watford and Garland. The help's going to need to arrive because he's given up a lot of size, but it frees up Martin open for 3. It's off. Long rebound, and Merrill had leaked out, and it's a bucket. So there's nothing you can really do about that, except be a little bit more aware to the issue. 4-point lead now. They've got the last 6. Watford. Dayron. Now to Cam Thomas. Guarded by Merrill. Body bump. Shoots off balance. And there is a foul by Merrill. And there will be free throws following up here. So 2 free throws for Thomas, and he's got that one to go. So 3:44 to play in the first. Thomas converts both. So Nets putting up a good fight early on in this one. Although we probably want a little bit more scoring contribution across the board because Zaire's got half our points. The Nets get a stop, and now Thomas will go downhill and attack Merrill, and he blew the layup, which you wouldn't necessarily back to happen all the time. That's a shocking pass out to Merrill, and it's gone out of bounds. Porter mistimed it and didn't read the ball movement off the play. And it looks like we're going to get a turnover. Or sorry, a substitution. It's Clowney in the game. And they did play Clowney and Sharp as a tandem front court pairing in the game yesterday. So Wilson also on the floor now. An exclusive bench unit in is Watford. Drive in, kick out Martin, good relocation. It's another open look, and that one's good. Lead back with Brooklyn, 21-20, 2:50 to play. Opening quarter, the Nets are 4 threes. That is the first 3 to come from a player not named Zaire Williams. Here's Mobley on the outside. Feeds it to Max Strus. Bounce pass into Mobley. The cutter was Wade backdoor, but the Nets read it. It somehow ended up with the Cavaliers still, and now Porter will drive inside and somehow get the conversion on 2 net defenders. Martin will feed Sharp, who's guarded by Wade. He's going to back him down, shoot with the right. It's a tough shot, and he makes it. Merrill got dumped off the ball. And it's back to a 1-point game. So very, very back and forth early on. Mobley faces up. Drive in. Extra Strus. What the hell? He passed it and it hit. It nearly went in for 3. The Nets, early offense the other way. Dayron, the bucket, as he capitalizes on the mismatch. And it is a 3-point lead. The Nets on a 9-2 run now. Strus steps back for another look. That one's too long. The board by Watford. And it looks like the Nets are going to call a timeout at the end of that. Or at the end of this first quarter. There's still about 90 seconds to play in it. But anyway. Lead is 3. It's a good start, this one. If you are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Bulls in a couple of days' time. So make sure to drop in for that one. But really, right now, the Nets doing a good job of getting a few stops. I think it's going to be a lot easier when you've got Darius Garland on the bench, because I just think he causes issues whether he's shooting the ball or not. He's got a team-high 3 assists. Mobley has been a great part of what they've been able to deliver on today. Allen's got the 6 points. But Brooklyn are getting some good contributions from their role players. I mean, we're looking at Watford already contributing. Martin's hit a 3. Dayron's got a couple of buckets inside. And then you look at, like, Zaire Williams. I'll class him as a role player. But, like, he's already got the 9 points, 3 threes. You know, that's incredibly helpful to the way you play. And Cam Thomas hasn't had the best of starts. He's had a couple of free throws. But I think it's good to see this Nets team are not having real issues scoring the ball, even with Cam Thomas not delivering. And really, like, you're having no backcourt bench production, or sorry, backcourt scoring production at all. Keon Johnson hasn't hit a bucket either. And Cam Thomas only the 2 points. So, you know, you're looking at some unorthodox main scoring sources, but it's working well for us. I mean, we've hit 4 threes already. Shooting the ball very similarly to the Cavaliers, and we've hit an extra free throw. So looking after the basketball, that's a massive key. I think the massive keys that we pointed out before, prior to the game, I think they're showing face early on here. I think it's really benefiting us the way we're playing right now. When you look at the lack of turnovers, the good shooting percentage, I mean, if this follows this trajectory, then we potentially have a chance to snap a 15-game win streak, which is pretty absurd if you think about it, when there's so many good teams in the modern NBA. So play resumes. Nets have not made a change, and rightfully so. The Cavaliers also remain unchanged. We've got a 3-second call on Evan Mobley. He's going to claim that he was guarding Day'Ron Sharp, who was basically right there. Kenny Atkinson's not happy about it. And Wilson's going to shoot a free throw. He usually misses the technicals, but he's made that one there. So play resumes. Watford on the outside. The Cavs in a bit of a zone here. There's going to be a charge on Watford, who I feel does that far too often for my liking. So the Nets don't capitalize and don't have the opportunity to expand on that lead. 26-22 the score. Porter across to Mobley. There's the foul, and it's going to go in favor of Evan Mobley, who will shoot a pair with 1:06 to play in this opening quarter. So Mobley converts the first free throw. And Mobley converts the second. So they've been flawless at the free throw line so far, the Cavaliers. And that's definitely giving them a fair bit of benefit. Oh my God. The Nets fucking turning it over in the backcourt. For God's sake. So there's no excuses there. Tyrese Martin, he just is prone to one of those errors every so often. The Nets get pinged for an 8-second call because, yeah, he lost the ball and we didn't get it across the half-court line. So Nets are going to have to play defense late in this quarter. Ball inbounded to Strus. Now Kevin Porter guarded by Wilson on the outside. The switch, trying to shake off the defender. Steps back, doesn't shoot. Mobley the spin. Shoots with the right. Beautiful look. So 26 apiece. Nets can go for a 2-for-1. Watford down the middle. Did well to control the handle. Martin let the defender go by. Shot with the right and he's airballed it. I thought he was passing across to Wilson. It was that bad of a shot. And Strus is going to slow the play up with the 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Into Mobley on the outside. Porter was open for 3. 5 to shoot. 3 to shoot. He's playing awfully passive for a guy who needs to put a shot up. Day'Ron gets the board. Takes a couple dribbles. Is he going to put one up himself? No, Wilson's going to put up a 3 and hit it as the buzzer sounds. And the shot clock expires. The game clock, should I say, expires. I don't know what the Cavalier defender was doing there. It was Sam Merrill. He came up to contest the ball and just left Wilson open about a meter away. And that is a bit of a cardinal sin. I don't imagine Merrill is necessarily known for his defense, even though there's been a good couple of stops by him. The Nets lead, though, with that 3-point make on the buzzer at quarter time. Up by 3. 29-26 the scoreline, and leading all scorers is Zaire Williams with the 9 points, and he's only been on the floor 8 minutes. We have seen some good point contributions here by Wilson and Martin, who have hit 3s. Day'Ron's hit a couple buckets from the floor as well. And overall, as a team, the Nets are above 50% as a group. They've hit 5 threes on 11 attempts, which is always the recipe to success, and have barely turned it over. Only the 3, that's not too bad. I definitely am pretty happy with that pace. If it gets any worse than that, then maybe we're verging on a little bit of trouble. Been to the line as well for a few trips. That always helps you out. The Cavaliers playing a pretty short rotation. They don't have that strong of a bench right now with a couple of absences. but they're still getting some good scoring prowess from Evan Mobley. He's been very involved on the offensive side, and Jared Allen's got the 6. Garland hasn't really gotten into the flow of the game yet. You'd want him to do so, though, with no Donovan Mitchell. But right now, very similar in terms of free throws made, field goals attempted is almost identical as well. And the three-point shooting's really the only difference maker right now. So we did say that was the key to the game heading in, because usually that is the dictator of how well the Nets perform. And right now, we're getting, some great contribution from our role players. Alrighty. So, second quarter underway now. And it doesn't look like the Nets have made any substantial change. Evan Mobley is still playing. He has not sat a minute on the bench. He played the entire first quarter, so it looks like he may be pushing 40 minutes. But he's got 10 points now, the first player in double figures for them. Here's Watford. Clowney, good location, and he knocks down the 3. It's very simple work. The off-ball movement by Brooklyn holds every defender on the floor accountable. And it's freeing up those open shots if you're not aware to the issue. Wade, the drive in. Wilson snatches it away and gets the steal. Watford will push the pace. Clowney is going to pump fake and drive it in. The Euro, the body bump, and there's the foul. That's a nifty move by the big man. And it will be free throws here. It's what you love to see. So Clowney at the line. First one goes in. Nets can get out to a game-high lead. Second one's off. Oh. And I thought the Cavaliers had fucked up that defensive rebound, but they're able to secure, and they'll play through Mobley again. Strus the drive. They lob it up, and Mobley with the flush on that lob. And it's back down to 3. So Mobley is just a threat, man. He's been troublesome. Martin shoots for 2. It hangs on the rim for a short while. They just threw it away very uncharacteristically. Watford goes across court to Clowney. Another pump fake. He'll pass out to Martin, and now Wilson up top. Now to Dayron in the middle. Watford on the right wing. Changes direction on the baseline now with 7 to shoot. He's playing pretty passively, but we bounce it into Sharp. He's got the mismatch. Good patience. Dayron's going to shoot a step back 2. That is not the play. I'm surprised Dayron wasn't a little bit more assertive with the back down. So, 2 minutes into this second quarter, it's been pretty even most of the way. Mobley goes downhill. Watford knocks it away after getting his body in the way and trying to initiate a charge. Pass down low. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit wayward. Nets still have it though. Wilson's going to take it downhill. The kick out to Clowney. Strus lost him. Another 3-point look goes down. And it's back up to a 6-point game, and Clowney is picking up right where he left off from the outside yesterday. 2 makes for him already. Mobley's going to back down again. And that pass by Mobley is thrown out of bounds. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout. Mobley has had quite a few turnovers in this second quarter, which is something that the Cavaliers were pretty good at keeping hold of in the first quarter. Javonte Green's in the game. I forgot this guy existed. Pretty good player to have that's not really playing. So the Nets up by 6. Dayron going to bounce it into Watford. Cut by Wilson. Beautiful feed and an even better completion by Jalen Wilson, falling to the ground. Wonderful reverse. The lead is up to 8. Mobley, the body bump. Loopy pass out to Okoro, and that 3 is off. Porter, it went off his foot, and I think it's going to be Nets basketball here. They're going to say it's Cavalier ball. I'm pretty sure that's gone off. Well, it's definitely gotten a piece of both players. It went off Wilson's head. And then it hit Porter after. I don't know how the hell they didn't see that. Strus misses the 3, though, so they don't capitalize on that little let-off. Martin. Across to Wilson. And now Dayron Sharp. They're going to look for Watford, who's got Porter on him under the basket, but they can't find him. There's no outlet. And now Martin will shoot a 3 from the left. It's off. Dayron the board. Keeps the pivot foot planted. Kick out to Wilson. That one short as well. The board by Porter. That, well, a make on any basket would have sent it up to a double-figure lead. Strus, Mobley, the pump fake. Over the shoulder to Strus, who on the catch will fire away again. And this time he's been highly inconsistent today. He converts that time, though. So 38-33. I feel like it's been a very high-energy game. Wilson's going to put another one up. That's a bad miss. Martin knew it was off, and he was the first man on the call. Watford shoots with the right. Mobley got a piece, and the Cavaliers have the numbers. Okoro down the middle. Green. Oh, my God, he's blown the dunk. And that is why he is not getting minutes. Watford, Wilson down the middle. Oh, good patience. He hung in the air and let off the shot just that little bit later to put Mobley's timing off because he was right there for the block. So Wilson putting in some good minutes. It's like he's realized that his spot is well and truly up for grabs and he's got to play well to keep that spot. So 7-point lead, and it looks like Jordi Fernandez is going to call the first timeout of the second quarter with the lead at 7 and multiple Nets numbers to come back in after the break. It's been a pretty good showing so far, though, by the Nets. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Chicago Bulls in a couple of days' time, so make sure to drop in for that, because that should be a vibe. Let's have a look at the box score right now. Nets have started the quarter just as positively as they did in the first. Noah Clowney's got the 7 points. I mean, he's hit a couple of threes. Been to the free throw line as well. That's what you love to see. And he's a team high +9. This bench unit has really cooked. Trent and Watford with the 4 assists. Good facilitation here. Jalen Wilson with the 8 in only 7 minutes and a couple of steals as well. So defensively, they're getting involved. All the steals have come from the bench. So, you know, we're getting some great bench production, especially defensively. I think the defense speaks more volumes than the offense. The Cavaliers are really playing a strange rotation here, given they've got Evan Mobley and Max Strus having played the whole game, basically. They've had a couple minutes off, but they've played 14 of the 17 minutes, 16 and a half minutes. So there hasn't really been much of a breather for them. And it's not like they're really contributing positive minutes. Nets have missed their last 3 3-pointers, but they have still hit the 7 3-pointers, and that is proving to be a key point of difference. Both teams shooting very similarly from 3 and from the line as well, but the turnovers are piled up in the quarter for the Cavs. I think they've had 4 of those, so that's what I mean. These steals have been racked up with the bench unit, so I think that's a really positive sign there. We're really not getting any empty minutes right now. Alrighty. So lead at 7. Nets are looking very comfy. They've got the basketball and they've just brought nearly every starter back in the game. Williams remains on the bench. Clowney still on the floor. But we've got that 3-point shooting 4, which helps us out a lot. Johnson the 3. Nope. Claxton fights on the glass. Clowney gets involved. Johnson pulls the trigger, and that is good. The lead's back up to 10, or it is up to 10 for the first time today. Garland's back in. Allen's out on the floor. He's got it now. Those two combine, and Allen converts the layup, and it will count, and it will be a free throw for JA to respond. So they've got Mobley off the court now. I don't know who committed the foul. It's probably Cam Johnson, but Allen at the line. He's been causing a few problems for Brooklyn, and he usually does. There's some games he phases out or he's not involved for maybe a half, but today he's been very much present. The Nets have not had one field goal which has been unassisted. That is a brilliant sign there. Cam Thomas, the drive, puts one up to Claxton, and he ushers the ball home. CT with the feed. And now Garland on the outside. They've got Okoro, Allen, Garland, Green, and Strus the 5 on the floor. Garland moves inside, puts too much on it. Johnson the rebound, and then he lost the ball. Garland right there. Strus will have an open look, and they aren't able to capitalize. It's gone over the backboard, and it will be net basketball. So Strus has had a lot of open looks today. I'd love to see his box score numbers because they have been inconsistent at best. I'm willing to bet it's about 2 for 7 from 3 or something along those lines to that effect. Claxton, the man in the middle. Drive in. Extra. Thomas is wide open. I mean, he doesn't get too many of those looks, but he will relish that freedom as much as he possibly can. Allen, the spin move. That one's badly off. Johnson ahead to Clowney. Drive in. I think he nearly tweaked his ankle there. Thomas the step back 2, and he splashes that one home as well. And for some reason, my game is just frozen up. Don't ask me why. Okay, well, hang on a second. Everything's just paused for some random bullshit reason. I think the stream's still live, but I've just got to refresh the page. That's so strange. Hang on. Sorry, lads. I don't know why the hell that's just happened. Let me get another league pass open. It just completely pooed itself. It looks like we're getting a timeout though, so it couldn't have happened at any better of a time. The lead is 13. Look, it would just be magnificent if I could actually operate my live stream right now. Everything's just shat itself at once. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Just everything has decided to... Like, the stream's not lagging, funnily enough. Usually that happens. Hold on. Okay. I think oh my god. I don't know what's going on right now. It's just happened out of nowhere. But the lead is 49 to... The lead is 49 to 36. I just cannot control my scoreboard for some reason. Like, every second it's lagging. Do I need to force close it? That's so strange. Okay, let me just do that. Okay, that's better. It's all fixed up. And the Nets are up by 13 points, believe it or not. They have hit a bit of a wall, the Cavaliers. Only the 10 points in this second quarter. The Nets with 20. So they've had some really good quarters in the middle portion of the game in the last few matches. Noah Clowney, I think, had the ankle tweak. Let's have a look. Ouch. He stood on Darius Garland. Noah Clowney's ankles, just fucking hell, man. That's so frustrating. Oh my god, the lag, brother. Why? The Cavaliers do score for 2, but this is not going to count for much if I can't even control my stream right now. What is going on? It's like every time I press the button. So apologies if there's like a little bit of disjointedness with the stream timer. The Nets have it here though. Johnson falling away. Hits the 3. I may just have to like turn the clock off for now. It's like dipping. It's not even appearing. The Nets are up by 14. I'll just try commentate it, and whatever the scoreboard does, the scoreboard does. But it is now 52-41. Whoops. May just have to operate it like this. 4:30 to play in the half. Thomas the drive. Beautiful pass out to Claxton. Claxton the roll. Layup. Oh my god. Well, I'll never see it. Apologies. Everything's all over the place right now because this fucking stream is lagging so badly. Now even I'm lagging. I can't even change anything. It's all just happened at once. Really don't understand. I think we're back. I think we're back. I just died for like a short while. I'm trying to get everything resynced. The scoreline is 52-40. My sources, if I have sources. I may just have to watch the game from here. This is so jarring. I don't know why it's doing this. The lead is... Oh my god. What is going on? Apologies everyone for this ridiculousness right now. It's just my computer's kicking up a stink right now. Like I just can't control anything. There's 3:30 to play. Thomas has put up a deep 2 and knocked it down. It's like, I don't know why everything is lagging. Hopefully it's just been a hellish couple of moments. The Nets are going to break out and get a 2-for-1 advantage. And Thomas in transition converts. And it is now a 14-point lead. Pocket pass, lob. And a foul on Javonte Green. And it will be free throws here for him, I think. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we just had a couple of horror minutes here for like 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, it's a foul on the floor. So 3 minutes to play. Mobley's got it here. Guarded by Williams. Drive. Spin. Beautiful score. So 12-point lead. Nets have shot the ball superbly in this first half to lead by 12. They did this last year as well. I believe in the final game of the season. Thomas, a step back 3. Splash! Is that like the first bucket we've made that wasn't assisted? Merrill lets the defender fly by. 3. Good response. 60-48 the score. 2 and a bit minutes to play in the first half. Oh my god, heat check! Splash! He can't miss! Garland moves through, picks up his dribble, shovel out to Wade, back to Mobley, to the corner again for Dean Wade. Will drive on Thomas, the body bump, the extra. Allen puts one up, didn't put enough on it. Thomas the board. Claxton's rim running. Allen's not even back yet. He's on the outside now. Williams. Back to Thomas. He's guarded by Wade. He's cooking. He drives in the scoop. Nope. Claxton fought for it on the glass. Wasn't able to score. Wade lets the defender go by. That 3 is off. The board by Allen, and we have a lock up under the basket. I think it's going to be a foul on the floor. And it's probably going to be the first in the final 2 minutes. So, Thomas to the bench for the closing 90 seconds. Thomas is 6 of 7 and has not missed his 3-pointers. I thought he was 0 of 2 before. The Nets nearly get a steal. They got 2 to shoot, and they've really had no business putting the shot up. They get blocked on the perimeter. It was a good closeout by Claxton, and it is going to be Nets basketball with the lead at 15. It's a shame that we had that 5-minute stint where I couldn't actually do anything with the live stream. But, yeah, I'm enjoying watching this bit of basketball, and naturally you have to. Watford and Martin in for the closing minute. Watford shoots with the right over Mobley. That's just not the assignment you have to attack. Mobley's been a brute force. Garland takes a hit, and that's going to be a foul on the floor. But it is also going to be the foul that sends the Cavaliers into the bonus. So, Garland at the free throw line to shoot a pair with 46 seconds left in this first half. So, free throws coming up here for Garland. He made the first. And he made the second. And the Cavaliers are going to pick us up full court. Martin. Bounce pass into Watford. He's guarded by Merrill. The help's going to arrive. There's open shooters on the weak side. They find Williams. That 3 is left. Board by Merrill. Garland will slow things right down. 4-second difference between shot and game. The blitz arrives. Claxton is the helper. Wade. Claxton recovers. Mobley moves inside, and now the kick out back to Wade. They got 6 to shoot, and they've really not gotten into the flow. It's going to be a tough step back 3, which is off. The board by Watford. We got 3 to shoot. Oh my god. What the fuck? 4 seconds left, and he's fucking traveled in the backcourt. Are you fucking serious? You could have done absolutely anything in that scenario. Instead, they could get a quick trigger 3, which would cut the deficit down to 10, which is a little bit of a dampener on what's been a great first half for Brooklyn. It'll be Dean Wade who triggers in. It's inbounded to Garland. It's going to be a tough step back 3, and it hits the side of the backboard. I can't even speak. But that is the halftime break, and the Nets had a very dominant second quarter. 34 points they put up, as opposed to the Cavaliers' 24. And it has seen the Nets quadruple their lead from 3 to 13. I did not expect this to occur. I think it's safe to say, but, well, great contributions all over, but Cam Thomas, I don't know why the Yes broadcast put him as having shot 6 of 7, because he is 6 of 9, but that doesn't take away from the efficiency. The Nets have had 20 assists in the opening half, which is staggering. Thomas had a very quiet first first quarter, but in the second quarter, he put the foot down. He got 14 points to contribute to his total of 16. The shooting's been efficient all round, except in a couple of areas. Keon Johnson, 0 of 3. Tyrese Martin, 1 of 5. Trenton Watford, 0 of 2. But those guys aside, like, even still, they are positive in the plus-minus. They've been a part of some really good groups. Zaires got the 9 points. He hit his opening 3 threes, which always helps you out. And Claxton with the 7. Cam Johnson, the 8. Wilson's hit 8 as well. And Clowney with the 7 points on flawless shooting as well. So overall, it's been a really, really good performance. The Cavaliers definitely are playing like they're shorthanded. Garland's got 7 points, but he's only put up the 7 shots, all quite inefficient. 6 assists to go with. That always helps you out. But it's very predictable, you know, where they're going to get their contribution from. And the role players really haven't stepped up. Dean Wade hasn't scored. Merrill's only got the 5 points. Granted, he's barely shot it. Strus is 2 of 6. That's not going to help you out. Nakoro really is a non-factor. So a lot of the task has been handed to Evan Mobley, Allen, and Garland. And really outside of that, there hasn't been too much. They are definitely missing Ty Jerome. They're definitely missing Donovan Mitchell, of course. And they're missing DeAndre Hunter, who are 3 very capable scorers. But, I mean, this is a great half for Brooklyn because you look at where the scorings come from. We've got 6 players with 7 points or more. So that definitely can convey into these players scoring in double figures. And I mean, that has you well on your way to scoring 120 plus. And I don't think the Cavaliers have that sort of shooting in them. With the players they have available today. 6 turnovers, so they definitely had a few more turnovers, especially early on in that quarter, the Cavaliers. But the main issue right now for them is the 3-point shooting, which is sitting at a measly 5 of 19. The Nets 11 of 22 and shooting above 50% from the floor. The free throws haven't really been a staple of the game. But, I mean, when you're shooting the ball that well, it doesn't really matter. And the assist number is the big number. We've had 20 assists, and it's come across the board, really, because you've got nearly every player with an assist, and you've got 6 players with 2 or more. We're seeing centers, we're seeing forwards, we're seeing actual facilitators with a bunch of assists. When you look at the players who have got 2 or more assists, it's very clear that there is constant sharing of the basketball. 20 assists on 23 made field goals is a great return, great ratio. And when you look at it from a Cavalier perspective, well, you've only got 4 players who have accounted for 13 assists. 13 assists. And 10 of those have come from 2 players. So, you know where the offense is running through. And when those guys are not available to you, it's proving to be difficult. And for Mobley, like, there's been groups where he's playing as the lone man, like the clear number 1. And, you know, he needs to be scoring the ball, but he's also assisting. So he's relying on Garland and Allen to be on the floor at the same time as him. And unfortunately, that can't happen for the entire game. So yeah, in the second half, they're going to be looking for a lot more, especially from Garland, I feel. Like, he's going to have to put that team on his back. Because Mobley's done a good job. Allen, I don't see falling into that sort of mold. Look, the Nets have this game in the palm of their hand, right? They are well in control. The only way this game goes out of control for them is if that shooting diminishes and those that field goal percentage just plummets. Right now they're doing a great job though. great job in almost every category. They've really rocked up. Second night of a back-to-back. Haven't looked phased at all. Let's have a look here. So, just trying to locate what stats. Here we go. Team stats. Offensive rebounds, like, we're out rebounding them by 4, but the big thing here is points off turnovers. The turnovers are actually dead even. 6-5, basically. But the Nets have been far more clinical, which is something I haven't been able to say all that often this year with turnovers and points off them. But we're up in that category 11-4. The points in the paint, I mean, only the 18 points in the paint for the Nets and -10 on the Cavaliers. But that is showing the reliance on the 3 ball. And if those threes are falling, it looks bloody beautiful. Fast break points 9-4. We're winning that category as well. Second chance points, not really a staple of the game yet. 4-3. So, yeah, there's still a lot of basketball to be played in this one. And I think, as I said, it really is going to come down to whether or not the Nets sustain what they've been doing in the first half offensively. Defensively, like, I think the Cavaliers have just been missing a ton of shots, and they do look like a depleted team, or a team that's missing a few key players. So, all right. Okay. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Bulls. That's a big game. Because, yeah, the Bulls only on 27 wins. We're on 22. A win today would be 23. You beat the Bulls, you're 3 games off them. So that will make it interesting down the stretch. All right. So, around the grounds, let me have a look. Hang on. Yeah, so around the grounds, we've got the Pistons up by 16 on Washington. I think that's to be expected. That's a big game because Detroit trailing Milwaukee. There's a lot of teams trailing Milwaukee that are playing today. In Indiana, the Clippers, and the Pistons. So we get an optimal result if the Pistons win, the Pacers win, the Clippers win. Because those 3 teams, like right now, the Bucks are a game and a half ahead of the Clippers. If the Pistons and the Pacers win today, they will be tied with the Bucks on record. The Warriors are flying at the moment. Minnesota are playing well. So those teams could also overtake. But yeah, I think there's opportunity for that Milwaukee pick to potentially slip into the top 20. Which I think could be brilliant paired with a top 6 pick. When you think of where, like, Trying to think, was Jalen Johnson drafted like with someone else? When was Jalen Johnson drafted? Because he'd be a great player to have. He was drafted 2021 NBA draft. So that year, the Hawks got Jalen Johnson. And that was the only pick they had. Wow. But you look at the top 6 that year: Cunningham, Jalen Green, Mobley, Barnes, Suggs, Giddey. They got Franz Wagner at 8. Zaire Williams was in that draft. Wow. But you get what I'm saying. Like, you can get some good players around 20. I feel like there's a lot of hits and misses. Şengün was drafted at 16. But then again, the Rockets also drafted Usman Garuba at 23. So there's not many players. Like, we struck on Cam Thomas at 27 and Dayron at 29 that year. So there's definitely potential with players you can get round about that area. But, you know, it very much is, well, it's a lottery initially. And there's a reason for that, because it's fucking luck related, but also picking a player and seeing their career play out in a positive way. That's also a way, like, can luck out for you, especially if they weren't originally touted as a high draft prospect, but then they just exceed all their ability, or what was expected of them. So multiple things have to occur. Like, at the end of the day, it's luck is at the center of sport, right? And look, if the Nets end up with Cooper Flagg, that's luck. If Cooper Flagg flops, that's also luck. The Nets probably have a chip one right now if Kevin Durant's toe isn't on the line. That was a bit luck related, and it was on Milwaukee's side. That year, you know, there's so many things, so many variables that are luck based in sport, and it just severely alters the trajectory of the franchises that, you know, these players are involved in and that sort of thing. So but yeah, I think we can do business at pick 18, 19. Like, that, I'm pretty sure, would be the highest pick Marks would have drafted at if we didn't even have a pick higher than 18 or 19. Because Levert was drafted outside the 20. Allen was drafted outside the 20. Claxton outside the 20. Who else? We can go for days. Clowney and Whitehead, they were outside the 20. You know, there's so many players like Marks has had to pick outside the 20. I'm really excited to see what he does drafting inside the 20, because it's a pretty loaded draft apparently, so you can probably do bits with the prospects this year, especially if you have 2 top 20 picks. It could be 3 picks, you just don't know. Like, the Knicks could be sucked back into it with no Brunson. The Rockets have been a very mixed bag in the last few weeks as well, so that could drop back. Like, imagine 3 picks from, like, in the top 21. Like, you're taking that every day of the week. It's not going to happen, but, well, it could happen. But I think, like, there's maybe a 1 in 3 chance of that happening. It's definitely not in our favor. Second half is about to get underway. Danny, hope you're doing well, mate. Pumped for tomorrow. Who do you think is the best chance to win the finals? I think Boston can go back to back. I don't think Boston are the shit this year. Wow. Oklahoma look pretty good. Oklahoma and the Cavaliers, but there probably is a smoky that's just going to cook in the playoffs. So I'm interested to see, as Mobley knocks down the 3 to start the second half. I reckon there may be a team in the West that can really cook. I'm not sure who that team is, because there's so many good candidates the Warriors have been playing some sneaky good basketball, so maybe they can make a move in the playoffs. Playoff Jimmy's a bit unstoppable, so him with Steph, that could be interesting. There's not much longevity to that Butler-Curry partnership, but I think in the short term this year, it could be great. Garland misses a couple of easy looks by his standards, and the Nets will, in transition, face a Cam Thomas crossover and conversion from the wing. That is just lethal. 19 in the game. He's cooking. Killer Cam. Allen back out to Garland. They're going to apply that pick and roll again. The kick out to Mobley, who will be tested from the outside again. The board is chased up by... well, it's going to be Cavalier ball. Keon Johnson lost his shoe in pursuit of that rebound. Damn, then the Cavaliers haven't faced a bigger deficit, barring one occasion at halftime. That's pretty crazy. So, this 14-game win streak for the Cavaliers very much in jeopardy. But the Nets have had a lead against the Cavaliers in multiple matches this season, so going to be interested to see if the Nets can complete the job. Claxton blocks Jarrett Allen at the rim, who was trying to put him on a poster. That's heavily impressive. 10 minutes to play in this third quarter. Couple minutes gone in the second half. Thomas is on fire until that three. That is a heat check and a half. Do not shoot those. Strus across to Garland, the lead at 13. They were looking for Evan Mobley under the hoop. It was off. Beautiful pass. A beautiful pitch. Well weighted by Keon Johnson, and he was able to honor the leak out. Garland's missed another shot. Cam Johnson got hit in transition, and Decoro will commit the foul. And it will be Nets basketball here. So, Nets playing hard. Keon Johnson, beautiful launch of a pass. So, Nets up 15. And I know who the Cavaliers have out. Some very good players, but still, it doesn't make it any less impressive. Williams, the three in the corner. Lead is 18. Allen goes at Thomas. And you expect him to make those, and he does. Nets continue to be scoring with fluency. 71-55, Williams to Thomas. Across to Claxton. CT again. Drive and kick. Williams will give it back to Thomas. He's guarded by Mobley. 3 to shoot. He's going to need to make something happen. And... well, there's... what? How have they called that a turnover? It was like 0.7 on the clock. What? I think they've just given him the basketball because they couldn't be asked, like, doing something a little bit extra. Garland for 3. That hits back rim. He's missed another one. He's going to not pull the trigger on the 3 again. Drive, cross, extra, Mobley, drive. One more. Allen, blocked. No, fouled. So the Cavaliers are finding it difficult in this third quarter to get going. Nearly 4 minutes gone and only the 5 points made. Garland is putting up a lot of shots in this third quarter. He only had 7 in the first half. But just because you attempt more shots, it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to result in more points. So, free throws here for Jarrett Allen. We're going to look at the Garland stat line in a short bit. $71-56 the scoreline. Allen makes both. So Nets getting pressed in the backcourt, but they have no issues getting it across in the 8 seconds. Williams moves through, goes at Allen. He tried to he tried to absolutely slam that over the top of him. But that was always going to be a difficult assignment with Allen having a few inches of height over him. 9 to shoot here. Thomas bounces it to Williams. Back to Thomas. 5 to shoot. He's going to need to put one up. 2 to shoot. Off balance. 3. Nope. Board secured by Cam Johnson. The Nets will reload. Williams picks up his dribble. Beautiful layup on the pump fake. Lovely look. Cavaliers go early and hit the side of the backboard. It somehow ends up in their lap again, though. Johnson guarded by Garland. Top of the key. Kick out to the wing. Mobley, extra. Strus in rhythm. No. Another one off. Allen fights for it and then threw it out of bounds. So he did the hard yards, and then the simplest of responsibilities he wasn't able to complete. So play resumes. 10-4 run here for Brooklyn over the course of nearly 4 minutes. Williams on the perimeter to Claxton. The handoff will be received by Thomas, and now Cam Johnson, the jab step, guarded by Strus, goes baseline. Passes to Claxton at the elbow, the kick out. Williams will hop into another 3, and it doesn't rim in. He doesn't have the shooter's bounce. Cavaliers go early. Garland pulls up for one and finally sees one through. And that is where the fear sets in, because I feel like once he converts one, that's where the momentum picks up. Bounce pass into Cam Thomas, who will drive on Garland again. Smart attack. Kick out to Johnson. He can't hit the corner tray. Mobley's going to bounce it into Allen. The body bump. He lost the ball. It landed in the lap of Mobley. That is, like, there's nothing you can do about that. And Geordie will call a timeout just to settle the troops at the halfway point of this third quarter. I feel like the quarters have gone relatively quickly in this game. Not too much stoppage, it feels like. Tatum is my boy. I think that they win again. Their best beats everyone. But, like, I really... Like, they've got a very deep roster, Boston. But it's like they just three-point shoot. Like, their life depends on it. And I feel like it'll be interesting to see if... Like, well, their roster's composed very well, as I said. Pritchard off the bench. Porzingis back this season for most of it. And Derek White. Like, how the hell Derek White and Peyton Pritchard have become a 1-2 punch, like, on top of the 1-2 punch that they traditionally have. That's crazy to me. But, like, 3-point shooting, I mean, if they can hit the threes, then they're going to win it easy. But I just don't think it's a sustainable way to play, even though they won it probably by that last year. I feel like they're going to be hit with a lot more competition this year. And yeah, that's just my personal take on that. The lead is 11. Nets hanging tough, and they haven't really let the Cavaliers make huge inroads. Cam Thomas is the 19 points. Zaires got the 14, which you love to see, and Cam Johnson with a very well-rounded stat line there. Clax with, on the verge of a double-double. And for the Cavaliers, Allen, Garland, and Mobley have been responsible for, I would say, every bit of their scoring in this third quarter. Garland, 3 of 12. That's sort of being offset by how well Mobley is shooting the ball. So that always aids you. But that being said, I mean, they're going to need to see more from their role players, that's for sure. Nets offense hasn't looked as great this quarter. Of course, the Nets have either sniffed out or scored over 30 in the first 2 quarters of the game. they're on pace to fall well short of that mark in the third quarter, but they really don't need to be crazy garbage. Like, they can be bang average and still win this game, for sure. So play resumes, and it looks like Martin's in the game, Wilson's in the game, Claxton with the soft touch. So Cavalier changes have Wade and Merrill into the contest, Mobley on the bench, Okoro out there, Martin on the floor, and Wilson, as I just said, for Brooklyn. Shovels it out to Allen, and there is a foul on Jalen Wilson. Why are we playing a small ball lineup? Oh, sorry, no, we've got Claxton out there. I don't know why, I just completely missed him. So 13-point lead here for the Cavaliers. A couple of free throws will ensue. Allen's been very busy. So one more for JA. I don't think they've missed a free throw all day. So keeping themselves alive through that source. Garland looks very, very sore. Looking a little ginger out there. Bounce pass to Martin. Was a little bit low for him, but he was able to gather. He drives in the lob. Williams can't complete it. Martin followed it up. And then Allen swats it out of bounds. So Nets will get another go. 8 seconds to shoot, though. That's good recovery time there by Allen. Good reflexes. I thought he was going to be late on the rotation, but swats the Martin layup away. Watford into the game. Claxton and Johnson will sit. Dayron's back on the floor. Watford. 3 to shoot. What is he doing? Oh my God. Williams has to put a deep one up. It's off. Allen the board. That was awfully passive. Garland's just got an open 3. I don't know what the Nets defense are doing, but they're just got to be grateful that Garland can't hit buckets at all today. Allen with the board, though, and the bucket. It's a 9-2 run, and they've cut the deficit down from 16. Martin. To the corner for Wilson. Extra. Williams. One more to Martin. They can go to the weak side corner. Watford. It's good defense, and it's gone out of bounds. So, I swear to God, every single time the opposition elevates their defensive pressure, it's like this team completely, doesn't adjust quickly enough, and the lead is just shut up the wall. Looks like Clowney's going to come into the game. We need a little bit of calm on the ball because had a couple of turnovers in this quarter, which isn't ideal. 9-point game. Opportunity to cut into it some more. Garland, the acceleration. Beautiful skip pass. It opens up the weak side. Merrill's 3 rims out. And the board is secured by Porter, who just wanted it that little bit more. Garland, the drive. Hangs. Good patience. And he gets the bounce to go. It was a pretty unconvincing make, but the bucket goes, and it's back to 7. Clowney at the scorer's table. Martin across to Wilson. They're playing this blitz game, and the Nets can never seem to work out how to attack this. Wilson. Martin in the middle at the elbow. That's very, very creative. And that's how you break the zone and you hold these Cavaliers defenders more accountable. Williams with the knockaway. Sharp with the read. The Nets can run. Watford, Martin. Watford got in his way. Dayron cuts to the rim and isn't able to score the 2. Good work by Allen defensively. They bounce it out to the trailer, which is Wade. Merrill shoots one over Sharp. That hits the heel. The board by the Nets. Good security by Watford. He's going to attack Garland. drive in and has the soft touch to convert at the bucket. At the basket, and it's back up to double figures. So good little response here with 4 straight. Garland curls around the rim. Allen wasn't able to score at the bucket, but he is shooting more free throws now. So JA will shoot a pair for like the 4th time today. Williams has picked up 4 personals, so that will mark his time on the bench. Allen misses. That's the first miss of the game. So Cam Thomas back in with Clowney. It looks like Jalen Wilson's going to be collected. As I just lost my voice. Zaire also takes a seat, as we mentioned. 1 more free throw for Allen. And he converts 1 or 2 on that instance. So 10-point game. Watford. Cam Thomas. At the logo, guarded by Merrill. Hard screen set by Sharp. Picks up. Clowney's got an open look on the weak side. Nope. Dayron gets the board. He had it thrown away. Or stolen away. Porter, quick trigger 3. Struce. No. Allen gets the board again. He's feasting on the offensive glass in this 4th or 3rd quarter. I'd love to see the offensive rebounds because they only had 1 in the first half, but that is, or has been, a huge factor in this half. Thomas was open in the mid-range, but he wasn't able to knock it down. He had open shooters on the outside. So, probably a sensible shot in the end. Porter drives in, out to Wade, and now Struce, the blitz arrives. Wade, oh, that's a shocking pass, and well wayward right into the Nets bench. It will be Nets ball. And we're going to get a timeout with 2:16 left in this 3rd quarter. So, 8-point lead for Brooklyn. They have done well to stabilize after the Cavaliers got it down to 7. Definitely putting up a fight in this game, which you'll love to see. I don't care what the result is these days. Not that I ever did. But, you know, it's good to see this team performing. Okay. Let's just have a quick look at the box score. And I'm really interested to see these offensive rebounds for Jared Allen, who's got 9 rebounds now, but I feel like they're heavily slated towards the offensive variety. They didn't actually run any group with just Jared Allen in the first half. So maybe they're trying to mix things up and have Mobley and Garland on the floor at the same time. As expected, Garland has been more aggressive shooting the ball. He only had the 7 attempts in the opening half, and they probably wanted him to get a few more shots up. But he has not improved his efficiency one bit whatsoever. He was 2 of 6 at halftime, or 2 of 7. He's now 4 of 14, so he's really just doing more of the same, just in higher bulk. And if we look at field goal percentages, the Nets shooting the ball much better from the field and 3, even though that 3-point percentage has taken a bit of a steady decline in this 3rd quarter. Not really any free throws of note either for Brooklyn. Jared Allen now the high man amongst all scorers with 20. So that's really appeared out of nowhere. So 2 minutes left in this quarter. Eight-point lead. So, man, they are fucking pressing up. So Martin gets it across pretty quickly. Got to play the clock effectively because I feel like we've got to play into that slower pace, especially with the quarter winding down. Thomas picks up his dribble. He needs help. 4 to shoot. Oh my God, what the hell was that? We just chucked up an off-balance 3. That's going to be a fucking take foul. Oh my God, what an idiot. So Merrill's just going to get a free throw here and hit it. Let's see. That's just a shocking play there. On all fronts. I mean, out of the timeout, how on earth are you putting up an off-balance contested 3? And it wasn't even like an actual shot. It was just the biggest chuck-up of all time. Struce bounces it into Mobley. We don't even contest it, but he barely put anything on it. And it was well short. The Nets get the rebound and they can pick this lead right back up, but not with a loopy pass like that. That was scary momentarily. Watford going to drive on Porter. He's got the size there. He hangs it up for Day'Ron Sharp. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass, but it definitely looks a lot more like a pass by the second. Porter, good defense by Watford. He killed off the angle and forced a tough layup attempt, which was off. Thomas, early offense into Watford. Pump fake. Good shovel out to Day'Ron and a little scoop in there. That's a beautiful bucket there. So Watford had a couple of questionable moments in the middle part of this quarter, but he's responded well late. Merrill's 3 is off and the long board by Martin. And inside the final minute, the Nets can get it, well, back up to a lead, which would restore where it was at halftime. Thomas moves through, kick out, one more. Clowney, 3, no. Board by Mobley. So good look for a 2-for-1 opportunity, but no conversion there. Cavaliers are going to slow things right up here with the lead at 11 for Brooklyn. 6-second difference between shot and game. Porter, the blow-by, the kick out to Wade. That is just an open look, and he's going to hit those every day of the week. 9 seconds for the Nets to work with. Thomas, 4 to shoot. Moves through. Foul. And 1! CT with the make, and these are the late quarter, late game situations you like for Cam Thomas. I mean, we haven't had that for much of the season, but the difference is like in those moments, he's just able to make shit happen where other players really cannot. And he's able to knock down the free throw on the and 1 and get that lead back up to 11. They get it into Porter. He's got 2 seconds to heave one up from half court. How the fuck did he bank that in? Oh my God. A half court bank shot. Are you taking the piss? Usually when you bank it in or launch it from that distance, it's like you can't even... Like, you put too much power on it that it bounces well out, but it's somehow just nestled right through the hoop. And so it's gone from 11 to 8. That's really stiff. But 3-quarter time, the Nets only 23 points in that quarter, which is a little bit rough. Cavaliers get 28 up, but they held him up for most of that quarter, really. And I think it was a pretty decent effort, especially in the back end of that quarter, because they got it to around 7 or 8 points after getting it down from 16. And with that sort of a momentum, you know, you can probably like carry on with that and bring it down to maybe 2 or 3 points. But the Nets have done well to keep it around that 10-point margin. it dips between like 8 to 10 points sort of thing. So, yeah. But that bucket at the end of the quarter, that banker from half court, that's a pretty good result. Very good result for the Cavaliers. And they'll be pretty confident, I would say. I would say that they can get themselves right back in this and win the game. Even though things haven't been on their side for 3 quarters, maybe that bucket there. As we said before, luck is a massive part of sports. Maybe it's a sign of things to come. What was I going to say? This game's massive because, like, if we win, there's a very important game tomorrow between Philly and Toronto. Now, whoever won that game, if we didn't win today, or heck, if we didn't win yesterday, they would be overtaking us in the standings right now. Because, like, all 3 teams are on 22 wins. So whoever wins tomorrow is going to be, like, right there. And that's probably why you don't want us to win. So did he actually put it up? He did put it up, like, well before. That's actually cooked that he's made that shot. I don't know how he's made that bucket, but fair play to him, man. Anyway, he probably hasn't made a shot like that in his life. Anyway, the Nets will start the 4th with Thomas on the floor. Fellow draft class counterpart Day'Ron Sharpe is also out there with Noah Clowney. Watford's also there. And Tyrese Martin is too. Thomas, the pull-up 3. Nope. So the Cavaliers can trim it down a little bit more. Garland's going to attack the mismatch. The lob up. Day'Ron reads it. Well done. Good disruption. Nets have an open man on the weak side, but we took way, way too long to get it there. And Garland easily read it. He's just going to pull up for 3 ever so nonchalantly. And it is back down to 5. So, 86-81. This is a ball game for sure. Thomas the drive. Lock up. A jump ball. So, Cavaliers numbers just collapse. CT's probably just got to let off a few more passes. I know he loves putting a shot up, but I think he's just got to go back to a little bit more team basketball instead of making it a lot more like easy to anticipate. The jump ball is won by the Nets. Good work by CT. 7 to shoot. That's a fucking difficult shot. He's just hit that in the face of Merrill. He didn't even lose the man with the step back, and he still hit it. Like, that's so tough. Garland, pirouette, and score in the mid-range, and he's probably going to heat up now. 4-14 in 3 quarters, but he's made his first 2 buckets of the 4th. CT on the outside. Day'Ron's the roller. Extra to Clowney. Pump fake. Open look. Splash. Back up to an 8-point lead. Garland. Now guarded by Watford on the outside. They're playing through him early in this 4th quarter. Okoro in the corner will drive in. Shoots off glass, and the baseline delivery. That was way too open and on offer. You'd be an absolute schmuck to not attack that. Thomas. Day'Ron in the middle. Kick out to Martin. He's going to pull the trigger from the opposite wing. It's off, but the Nets read the miss very, very well, and they're going to go again. Thomas from way back. Nope. Wade is able to save. Nets got to get back defensively here. Clowney just lost Mobley, but we're lucky the pass was errant. And they roll it back out to Garland, who drives in again. Tough layup is off, and Cam Thomas has flung it out of bounds. Garland is slow to get up. So 6-point game here. Ball inbounded immediately to Mobley. Puts one up and the soft touch. Cuts it to 4. So Nets have just got to start clamping. This fourth quarter, it's been a little bit off the hook with the buckets so far. Thomas, drive in. Picks up the dribble. Good kick out, but Clowney's got to put one up. It's going to be a tough make. Off the window. Oh my goodness. I don't know how he's managed to get that to go. Garland? Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? He is now cooking in this fourth quarter. So this is the inevitable Garland quarter against Brooklyn. I remember he did this in the first meeting at this venue earlier this season. He gets the 2 plus the 1. It will be now a sole possession if he converts the free throw. Garland is now up to 7 of 18, but he was 4-14. So he's beefed up that stat line and brought the Nets right back into the contest. As a result, the Nets have brought Keon Johnson back in. Jalen Wilson also out on the floor. Cam Johnson has returned. Sharp remains in on the perimeter. 8 to shoot. Lads, get one up. 4 to shoot. Extra. Oh my god. Wilson's fumbled the pass on the cut. We don't have the numbers. Garland the hesitation and the layup. And it's down to 1. So I do not find this remotely surprising because it's happened multiple times with Garland. He just heats up with the click of the fingers when he couldn't hit a barn door for half the game. Looks like we're getting a foul under the hoop. Dayron was there for the follow-up, but I swear to God, this always happens where they call the foul on the initial and, well, we're going to have to earn both points at the free throw line now. So Wilson shooting a pair. And that's why you want the Dayron follow-up 2 to count. Because he can't make free throws under pressure. Wilson will have 1 free throw to shoot after the timeout, which has just been called by the Cavaliers. So 7:54 to play. The Cavaliers have made fat inroads. You know how the Nets are. We'll probably take the piss in the as you say in the fourth. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, because last night the same shit happened, and the Nets won the game. So I feel like we're better in a close game that lasts the whole game, if you know what I mean, as opposed to like having an early game lead and then having to withstand a comeback. I feel like that hasn't happened too often since we traded off like Schroeder. Really don't feel like we've coped. God, the Clippers have stunk it up in the first half of their game against the Pelicans, which helps us out a bit. And it's off the back of a Bruce Brown masterclass. Like, bit strange the Pelicans are just killing them. The Pacers and the Bucks are in a close match. That could be a very interesting watch as well. It looks like, yeah, well, we want the Pacers to win that game. We also, like, the Clippers-Pels one's a bit tough. But we probably want the Pels to win that more than anything. We probably don't want to win today. I think that would be detrimental when you see Philly are playing Toronto tomorrow, and you can see the standings there. We're on the same amount of wins as both of them. So I feel like a win today would be pretty damaging. Is there any other games that concern us tomorrow? Not really. But still a long way to go in this game as well. I mean, what? 8 minutes to play. Plenty of time. Alrighty. So, Zaire looks to have returned. Let's see what the Nets have got here. Because they've... Well, Wilson's got one more free throw. And he's made it. So, 2-point game here. Okoro's back in. Looks like the Cavaliers are running... Still no Mobley in the ball game. Garland remains out there, of course. He's been on fire in the quarter. Scoops one up over Claxton. Good defense, but Allen's there for the follow-up, and he scores the 2. And that's the predicament when you have when Claxton is contesting the guard on the drive. You've got to have box-out presence on the big. Oh my God, we've nearly turned it over. Keon Johnson needs help. Wilson, the drive on Merrill. Kick out. Good look for CJ. Nope. I mean, Cam Johnson's had some really good 3-point looks, and he just has not knocked those down. Merrill's just got an open one, and that one is short, so that would have given him the lead. But the Nets have gotten a couple of reprieves from these role players of the Cavaliers, as opposed to having to face the wrath of Donovan Mitchell, who isn't available today. Cam Johnson out to Wilson. We've got 4 to shoot, and we're passing it around the perimeter for no fucking reason. Put one up! Oh my God. That is just fucking pathetic. Like, no awareness. It baffles me. Okoro's layup is beautiful. And he gives the Cavaliers the lead, who were shooting 70% from the floor in the quarter. Like, lads, 5 seconds to shoot and you're passing it around like you've got 18 on the clock. Got to have a bit of fucking order about the offense, which has just fallen away a bit in this fourth quarter. CJ with 3 to shoot. He lost his footing, and Wilson has no fucking idea again. It actually baffles me how often Jalen Wilson has no idea that a shot clock exists. Like, with 1 second to shoot, surely you have a bit of awareness that a shot hasn't been put up for 24 seconds or round about that amount. You don't need to know the exact time to know that you probably need to put up a shot in the next 3 seconds. That's gone off Garland's foot, I'm pretty certain. But it's going to be Cavalier ball. The Nets will not even have remote interest in challenging it. So a 2-point lead. Strus, given room to shoot, doesn't. Okoro in the corner, the jab step. He's going to drive on Johnson, and then he fumbles it. And it's a shot clock violation. It also bounced out of bounds. So a turnover, and Okoro's hamstring looks like it's copped a bit of an issue there. He's walking pretty gingerly up the floor now. So 5:35 to play in the fourth. Johnson. Bounce pass to Claxton, who fumbled the dribble. He's falling out of bounds, and that is read by Okoro. Like, goodness me, we're running this shit lineup. Garland scores another layup, and Geordie's going to let it run. 15-3 run in the last 5 minutes. Goodness me, the guys on the floor out there right now. Keon Johnson and Wilson, man. Tank commanders today. Johnson's 3. That's CJ. Cam Johnson hits a big one to cut that run off. But the Nets have limped to 100 points again. Unsurprisingly, Garland moves through 2. And Allen lost the ball, and Cam Johnson stares down the ref and says, what the hell was that for? It will be 2 free throws here for Allen. Yeah, no, he's definitely taken him on the arms there. So Allen to shoot a pair here. We're inside the final 5 minutes of this fourth quarter. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. And subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus the Bulls in a couple of days' time. Jared Allen's first free throw is off, and the Nets will use a timeout here. I don't know if they had to use it or lose it, but we can have a quick look, actually. Yeah, the Nets had 3 timeouts, so they've opted to use their use it or lose it. In this fourth quarter, man, Garland has cooked. It's gone from 4-14 shooting to 9 of 21. He's got 24 points. Allen with a double-double. Mobley's got the 21, but he was huge for them in the first half. Now, the Nets, I told you this, and it's so easy to read. It's so easy to anticipate, right? This Nets team can have a 65-point first half and follow it up with a 30-point second half. We're just that bipolar. We had, I think it was 6 players with 7 or more points at halftime. We've now only got 4 players in double figures. And not really much advancement on what was occurring in the first half. The shooting splits, I mean, are basically identical now from the field. We've got more threes, but they've got more free throws, and it gives them a slight edge on the scoreboard. Turnovers, we've been pretty decent today, looking after it. Keon Johnson has 4 turnovers, but God, yeah, he's had a bad game. 0 of 4, 1.6 boards, 4 turnovers in only 24 minutes. It's not great. Cam Thomas hasn't seen really too much action in this fourth quarter, so maybe he closes the game out. But yeah, the Nets have only put up 11 fourth quarter points, so a typical tanking fourth quarter. And usually teams that actually want to tank close out this game exactly like this and carry it right the way through. But the Nets are probably going to make some big shots down the stretch, and it's going to completely kill it off. Alrighty. So 98-97 the score. One more free throw here for Jared Allen. At the 4:40 mark. Nets called a timeout. They had to use it or lose it. This game's really gone quickly. Usually it takes like 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. This game's only been going for like an hour 40. So Allen with one more free throw, and that is converted. And so Cam Thomas back into the ball game for the final 5 minutes, guarded by Okoro. Williams is also on the floor. Nets closing this game with their starters. Thomas. Claxton back to CT. Blitzed. Claxton, the man in the middle. Back to Thomas. 3 on the wing. It's off. So Thomas has been, his offensive contribution has stalled. Stuck on 24 points. We leave Okoro open for 3. It's off. Multiple numbers crash the glass. It's off. The Nets are going to push. Johnson didn't want the drive, which was on offer for some weird reason. Mobley, a deterring factor. Williams is an open 3. He'll put that one up and we'll miss another one. So these 3-pointers, they were hitting in the first half, but as we've said time and time again, that is like the barometer. Oh my God, what the hell was that? Struce got barreled over. Will be a foul on Claxton. So, foul on the side. So 3:42 to play in the game. 99-97 the score. Strus in to Garland. Allen, the man in the middle, he's got Williams on him. He kicks it out to Strus over Claxton. That is the worst miss I've ever seen. That bad that they get another look, and Garland's 3 rims out. Somehow ended up with Claxton, and he's going to bring it up himself. Guarded by Mobley. He goes at him and shoots off one leg, and it's off. I don't mind that assertiveness, actually, because no Allen, as he was trailing the play, tried to go at Mobley, but he's not necessarily a mismatch at all. The Cavaliers are going to use their use it or lose it with 3:09 left in the game. So I can imagine there may be quite a few timeouts down the stretch here. What a choke as usual by the Nets. We are like, I don't know how many leads we've choked this season. Let's see if StatMuse has got a stat on that. How many games have the Nets lost after leading by double figures? Double digits. Here we go. Okay, that doesn't answer the question. After leading by 10 or more. That doesn't help. How many losses? How many games have the Nets choked? Is StatMuse going to pick up on what that means? Okay, no, it's just not going to work. I didn't know if StatMuse had that sort of capability. Alrighty, so 2-point game with a little over 3 minutes to play, and the Nets have just hit an absolute wall offensively. They had 86 points at 3/4 time. And look, it would have been an 11-point lead heading into the 4th, but Craig Porter Jr. hit a half-court heave on the buzzer at 3/4 time to cut it to 8. And even though the Cavaliers haven't really been massive offensively, you know, the Nets have just been that little bit worse. Garland hangs and converts the beautiful floater. And so it's back to a 4-point lead for the Cavaliers. Johnson across to Cam Johnson. Off-ball movement for Cam Thomas here, and he was hit. And there's a foul on Okoro. So keep in mind, the Nets had 63 points in the first half. And they've only put up the measly 34 since. Nets get it in. Claxton looking. There's another foul, and it's on Strus. So a lot of stoppages now in the last, 5 minutes. Pretty free-flowing for most of the game, but quite a few tie-ups on the floor. Nets will inbound again. Williams looking for Claxton. Cam Thomas receives. He's going to drive, pick up his dribble. Tries to force the contact on Garland, but it ended up being a shocking layup attempt. Okoro blocked by Johnson, and Allen ends up in the 5th row. So 2:29 to play in the 4th. What the hell? When did they call the foul? What? Where the fuck was the foul? Huh? Oh, you're fucking kidding. They've called that a foul. If anything, there was a foul on the attempt by Okoro. There was fucking nothing on Allen there. Garland, oh my god, Cam Thomas has just been sat down. Okoro's got an open 3. He's missed it. The Nets have had 15,000 opportunities to cut this down. Cam Johnson's going to drive and hang off one leg and convert to cut it back down to 2. Finally, we've hit a bucket, but Goodness gracious me. 2 minutes to play. The blitz is going to arrive. Mobley on the outside is going to take it into the paint. Back out to Garland now at the logo. Screen set. Okoro's open. Extra to Mobley. It's a wide open three. It's short. He's going to follow up on his own miss. Kick it out and pass it straight to Cam Johnson, who read it. The Nets in transition. Johnson goes downhill. He lost the ball. And it's probably gone straight off Johnson, and they're going to call a challenge. I'm pretty certain of it. It's probably going to be Cavalier ball here. Now, the thing is, now, in past years, you couldn't necessarily pluck a foul out of the ball going out of bounds. Like, those two things weren't related. However, on that drive, Okoro's reaching in, and he's got a hand on Cam Johnson. Now, that can be considered 2 free throws and a reason as to why the ball went out of bounds. That's something that they couldn't do last year. I mean, it's clearly out off of Cam Johnson. But was the reason for that going out of bounds because Cam Johnson was fouled on the drive? That can be a new ruling. And even though the Cavs may be successful on their verdict of who it went out off of, the Nets can still get a couple free throws here. How is that not a foul? How on... Like, I'm surprised they haven't called that a foul. I've seen a lot softer called for a foul. So it will be Cavalier basketball here. 1:37 to play in the fourth. 101.99 the score. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus Bulls in a couple of days' time, so make sure to tune in for that. We don't have many games left in the season, so make sure to drop in. 90 seconds left in the game. The lead is 2. A 1-possession ball game. It's Okoro on the outside. Garland's getting guarded by Keon Johnson. Oh my god, we fucked up the switches. Strus has it on the outside. Lobs one in. It's off. Rebound secured somehow by Okoro. Oh my fucking god. What did I say about 30 seconds ago? About 30 seconds ago, I said I have seen whistles blown for softer. What on earth have you called this for? At that point, you're just fucking calling the foul. What even is that? You're just calling fouls. Oh my god, for just anything. Mate, taking the fucking piss. That is so soft. Ball don't lie. First free throw, no good. So a little over a minute left. The Nets have just stalled. They're just stuck on one setting. Offensively in this fourth quarter, only the 13 points. Okoro's missed both. Rebound secured by Williams. And the Nets can, well, capitalize on that empty trip. Let's see what shot they go for. I mean, the 3 ball's probably what they're going to look at here as we're about to enter the final minute. Cam Thomas receives it up top. He's going to drive on Allen. Change of pace. Johnson thought about the 3. Then he puts one up and he doesn't have the power. And it sits up on the top of the backboard. Cam Johnson wanted a foul on the 3. Looks like they're going to get Evan Mobley to shift the ball out of the top of the backboard, which is where it was stuck up on. So, another miss, and unsurprisingly, it was a 3, and then they go up the other end in about 5 seconds and score the 2 to get it up to 4. They're going to call a timeout. What's going on here? Geordie's pissed. The players are pissed. There must have been something going on the court which had the Nets just stop in their tracks, and that's why the Cavaliers ran it up the other end. Or the Cavaliers ran it up the other end in like 5 seconds. What's going on? I don't actually know what were they triggered by? I don't actually know what the issue was. But anyway, the Nets are going to have to do something that they haven't been able to do all quarter. I don't know what their field goal percentage is in this fourth quarter, the Nets, but this has happened all too often this season. And it's a typical tanker move here to just completely flop in the fourth quarter. So it'll be net ball. They've called a timeout with 51.8 on the clock. Thomas to inbound. Nets have got their starters on the floor. Thomas to inbound. Straight to Cam Johnson. Back to Cam Thomas, who will accelerate and misses the two. He had Claxton open for the lob. And, well, that's probably it. So, the Cavaliers send it to the corner for Mobley. Looks like the Nets are going to play straight up defensively. They thought there was a foul there. And they're going to get it. An offensive foul on Garland. And it was the official on the weak side who ended up calling it because the official on the ball had no fucking interest. So 31.4 left. Are the Cavaliers challenging this? The Cavaliers are going to challenge the call. Okay. I mean, whatever. So it looks like they're challenging on a potential push-off by Garland, which could also be interpreted as a grab by Zaire Williams. So Kenny's just gonna... Like, let's see what... Is this a... Let's have a look. God, that's like equal. So there's an offensive foul and a defensive foul happening at the same time. Both things are happening at the same time, so I don't know what they're going to deem this as, really. Fuck, that's really difficult to overturn. Are they going to deem that the defensive foul happened first? Are they going to say it's that close together, those two motions, that they're not going to... Are they just going to call it a jump ball and both things even each other out? Second timeout by the Cavaliers, though. They've used one and it's been successful. Let's see what the verdict is. That's just ridiculous. How have they... The defensive foul was there, but man, those two things are happening at the exact same time. He started the motion of the push-off at the same time as the defensive foul, man. That's ridiculous. So Williams is fouled out on that. And Garland's going to shoot too. I mean, let's pack our bags now. Those are some big challenges won there by the Cavaliers. So 2 challenges, 1 for the Cavaliers, and it's basically stripped us of 2 opportunities to potentially have this game all square, or maybe with the lead. Who knows? So Garland's got 16 points in the 4th, and he can tack on 2 more at the line here. Garland's first is good, and that is probably going to do it, unless the Nets can come up with something special. The Nets have had 13 fourth quarter points. So, pretty typical shit. I don't know why it always happens this way. 6-point game. Nets will bring it up with 30 seconds left. Let's see what they're going to do here. Well, they've got to find a man first that's open. Thomas is going to need to step back for 3 and somehow hits that bullshit. How on earth has he done that? How on earth has he done that? For all the open fucking misses we've had, he's hit a contested 3 like that, fading away. It's a 1-possession game. The Cavaliers are going to need to miss their free throws from here. But Thomas keeps us alive. 1-possession game, it'll be Strus at the free throw line, who hasn't had the shooting stroke today, but he is a good free throw shooter typically. And right there is no exception. The Nets have a timeout left, and they're probably going to use it after the free throw here. Will he use it here, or will he let the Nets play? He's going to let us play. We've got 21 seconds left. A bit of time to work with. Thomas is going to drive in. Pass to Cam Johnson. He's going to move through. Wanted a whistle, and he's going to get it. So with 14.3 left, that whistle keeps us alive. An and one make would have made it very interesting. But now the pressure's on for CJ to knock down a couple free throws at the charity stripe to continue this game, or to prolong this ball game. So Johnson hasn't attempted a free throw tonight. Bit unlike him. At the line, converts 1. Is Johnson going to go for a miss here? He's just been in the era of Nic Claxton, so maybe there's going to be a potential play on this. I don't know. Probably not, though. So Johnson with 1 more free throw. And that's good. So 3-point game. If we can deny the pass to the inbounder, which we do, it's going to add pressure. And the Cavaliers needed to use their final timeout. So 14.3 left. 3-point game. The final 5 minutes have gone for years. But a 3-point contest, and it's going to be interesting to see how these final few moments play out. Cavaliers now need to get the ball in. I don't know if they can advance the basketball. Pretty sure they can. But now no timeouts remaining. So if they get hit with the 5-second call, the Nets can actually prolong this ball game. I don't know how ideal that is for anyone, really. The Cavaliers probably just want this game to be over and done with and go home. Meanwhile, the Nets probably want to lose. At least a lot of the Nets fan base do. So I don't think there's really any winner if that's the outcome. But Nets down 3. They led by as much as 18 early in the 3rd. And it's just been completely pissed up the wall. Due to the fact that the Nets haven't really known how to score the basketball in the 4th quarter. They've scored about 5 in the last minute, but before that, 13 points. Nets have a timeout remaining, so in the case that some wacky shit occurs, the Nets will be able to advance the basketball or call a timeout and make a set play, but the Cavaliers advance the ball. They've got the entire court at their disposal, and they're going to look for Garland on the inbounds. We do well. Get it into Strus. just in the nick of time, but we don't waste any time with the foul, and it happens 0.5 seconds after the ball's inbounded. So Strus, with the pressure of making 2 more free throws like he did a couple of moments ago. Strus at the line. Gets the roll. He got that on a 3 early in the game. He's just been absolutely kissed by the basketball gods. 108, 104. And that one's made as well. So Nets are still not going to use the timeout. Thomas is going to push it again and probably heave up a 3. Again over Garland, falling away. It was in line, but it didn't have the lift. And that's going to do it. Nets end up losing the game, I think. Cam Johnson's going to put up a 3 off one leg and nearly hit it, but that'll do it. Nets lose by 5. Good effort by the squad, but yet again falling away in the second half, only putting up 18 fourth quarter points. And the Cavaliers hit 30 and outscored us in the second half 58-41. And at the end of the day, they just, I think unsurprisingly had more prowess in the fourth quarter, which, I mean, it doesn't matter who we have out there. Every single time it feels we just fall away. Whenever we have a big lead, there is always a comeback imminent. And overall, yeah, the Cavaliers just had that little bit extra to get them over the line. Darius Garland ends with 30. He had 12 in 3 quarters. He was 4-14. He went 7 of 10 in the fourth. Let me just take a sip. Cam Thomas had 27 for the visitors. Johnson with 17. Williams with 14. Clowney, fresh off the 19-point performance yesterday, ended with 12. Why is this not updating? That's really frustrating again. Has it updated now? Yeah, it has. Overall, though, I mean, in the fourth quarter, the shooting just fell to pieces. We end up having the same amount of field goals as they do. They actually shot it worse. The 3-point shooting we did significantly well. 16 of 44 is a pretty good mark, but the free throw shooting was well in their favor. And, you know, hold on. I can't move the thing again. Oh my God. This fucking box score, man. Yeah, like they got some good contributions late, more so defensively, because their offense wasn't actually that great, but Garland carried them in that fourth quarter. He basically had the same amount of points as we did by himself. Allen was huge in the third quarter. I feel 23 and 13 total. He had a bunch of offensive rebounds, which is something that they didn't really have to show for themselves in the first half. The turnovers, we did pretty well. A lot of, you know, the things we were talking about pre-game in terms of keys to the game and like getting a win, we actually were pretty good with those. It's just the consistency dropped away in the second half. And we just didn't get the stops that we required. Williams fell away. Cam Johnson wasn't as prolific in the second half. But there were a couple of players that, you know, had 7-8 points at halftime and they didn't even get in double figures. And that really hurts you as a group. And that's why you see the toll on the scoreboard, 41 points. I mean, falling 20 shy of what we did in the first half. So, I feel as if things really slowed up offensively. The assist number is really telling. With 31 assists in total, which looks really good. It's 8 more than the Cavaliers, but we only had 10 in the second half. And so that dependency of, you know, being able to facilitate, the less facilitating we did, you know, it took a toll on our scoring. Then again, there were quite a few open shots and they just weren't falling like they did in the first half. And sometimes that's just how it is. If I look at the team stats really quickly, Fast break points, very even. Points off turnovers, we were killing him in the first half in that respect, but the Cavaliers a little bit more punishing in the second half. And the points in the paint, they were up plus 20, 52 to 32. And that was the formula to the game in the first half. Cavaliers having a bit more of a dominant presence inside. The Nets obviously scoring more threes, but we were 11 of 22 at halftime, or 11 of 23. So to go 5 of 22 in the second half, so shooting it at the same volume and not getting the same output with that dependency from outside in the first half, you put that all together and you're leaving quite a few points on the table. If we had have done what we did in the first half from 3, we're 18 points better or something like that, and we're hitting the 120 points that we were on track for in the first half. Overall, the Cavaliers shot 24% from 3. So they didn't have a great game by their standards, but as was the case in the first meeting between these two teams at the same venue, this game ends a 5-point L to Brooklyn. Rebounds, that was also telling. 5-1, we were up offensive rebounding wise. By game's end, we're down 4 in that category. So they killed us in the second half there as well, and that gave them a few extra looks, which were pretty punishing in the end. And look, in the first game, funnily enough, it's like a case of deja vu. We scored 18 points in the fourth quarter in that other game we lost by 5 in Cleveland, after leading at 3/4 time by 12. So a very, very similar outcome to the game, funnily enough. And so, really, it's just one of those things that have plagued us all season long, and it doesn't really seem all that surprising. So in the end, I think it was a good attempt by the squad. It's a pretty big L, though, to pick up because, of course, if we go back to the stream overlay and see the way the standings are set up, that loss has us now equal with Toronto, and it has us a little bit worse than Philly. So Philly and Toronto play tomorrow. If Toronto win, they're above us. And I mean, Philly the same. So we're going to dip below one of those two teams tomorrow, which, of course, is beneficial to us. But we play the Bulls in a couple of days. That's going to be an interesting match, with the Bulls holding onto the final place in the play-in for the Eastern Conference. So we'll be there for that. Make sure to catch me for that live stream. We will be starting from the usual time as we do. But until then, thank you for tuning in. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye for now.